this is Jennifer Stay with Coloring Pages Bliss, and this is Rose. Hey Rose, come here. Hi, this is Rose. She's my coloring partner. She sits here by me in my art studio every day, and she sits right here on this pillow and hangs out with me while I color. Anyway, today we're on video number 2 of my Color Like a Pro series. Check out video number 1 where I talked about trying out new tools for coloring, and this is an 8-part series. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Facebook so you don't miss out on any of my Color Like a Pro videos. And I'm also putting out all kinds of tutorial videos, so you won't want to miss any of them. Today we're going to talk about colors. I mean, that's your basics when it comes to coloring, is your colors. One of the most basic questions people ask is, how do you pick your colors? And you can see why. This is a standard set here of colored pencils here. Well, this is more than standard. This is a pretty big set of colored pencils here. There is a lot of options, a lot of shades, different color families. If you go and research color on the internet, you learn all about the color wheel and tertiary colors and secondary colors and mixing colors and crossing the color wheel and what is appropriate and warm colors and cool colors, and it can get really overwhelming and frustrating, especially for a beginning colorer who just wants to sit down and relax and just wants their coloring page to turn out pretty. And so it's very overwhelming. If you watch a kid color, if they sat down to a set like this, they would be in bliss. They would sit down and just grab the first color that looks pretty and inspiring to them, which probably would be a fluorescent color like this, and they would just go for it. They would not get caught up in whether this is a tertiary color that crosses the color wheel appropriately and balances the left side with the right side. They wouldn't get caught up in all that. They would just go for it, and whatever feels right is what they would do. But as adults, we get caught up in all of that. We stew and we fret and we worry, and I hear over and over, I abandoned my entire coloring page because I hated this color I added and I can't stand it, and I just threw out all these hours of work because of one color I added. And it's really sad because, well, first of all, I don't believe there are any mistakes when you color. I don't believe that at all. But secondly, I want this to be a blissful experience. So I'm going to give you some really simple steps here to help you pick your colors, pick them successfully so that every time you sit down, you're happy with your color palette. My first suggestion is to begin with a plan. There's two sets of people when you read online in the groups. Some people say, oh, I just sit down and pick what feels right and start, and then I build my colors from there. And then there's the group of people like me who believe in beginning with a plan. And it helps me if I begin with a plan, because then I kind of know where I'm starting, and it takes this stress off, and I can, choose just a few colors and have them in front of me, and then all of this goes away and I don't feel stressed anymore. It's just these to look at and pick from, and that helps me relax and focus and get lost in the coloring process, and I don't have this choosing process anymore. So that's why I begin with a plan. Every time when I color, I always begin with a plan. And usually what I do is I pick a color palette. Online there are tons of color palettes. Where I would suggest to start is to visit my website, coloringpagesbliss.com. I have on my website some really pretty color palettes you can pick from to get you started. They look like this, and they'll be pretty inspirational pictures. I have pictures of like Venice, Italy. Then we've taken the colors from that photo and pulled them out into little samples on the side, so that then you can take your pencil crayons and say, okay, this looks like it's in the right palette, and you can then take a little scrap of paper. I like using 3x5 cards and start coloring out samples and say, yep, that fits that color there. And you can keep finding, wow, I did really good. You can keep finding, let me see if I can find a yellow that works. That one looks like it might work. See, you can pull out these colors. It looks like we're gonna need a green. That one might work. That's way too bright, so I wouldn't grab that one. And it helps limit your palette and pull together a set of colors that you like. So I go find a picture that I like, and then in these palettes it automatically pulls these colors out for you, and you can grab them really easy, and that starts your plan right away. Almost no thinking, and you've got a set of colors you know is going to look good together because you've already seen a picture where it looks good together. So here's one. This is a very warm palette. Here's a really fun bubblegum candy palette. This again is on my website, so you can refer back to it on coloringpagesbliss.com. This is another really pretty soft palette. My favorite places to get colors from is nature. I'm really inspired by nature. Online there are all kinds of palettes you can get, so once you've seen the ones on coloringpagesbliss.com, you can expand out your reach and find tons more to look at. That's a nature one. The one I want to show you today that I played around with to pull the colors for this was this color palette, was this peacock. These markers here were from my Tombow set, and I had my little 3x5 card here, and I went through my Tombow markers and I tested them all, and I found the ones I liked and pulled the colors from here. Now the second hint here I have with begin my plan. So what I did was I picked the picture I liked, was really inspired by this peacock and made me really happy, so I decided this is where my bliss is today. I'm going to color from the peacock. I'm going to limit my colors. I always start with 3 main colors, 2 to 3, but usually 3 colors. That's where I begin. So here I was wanting to start with a green, sort of a neutral peachy color, and in the blues. And so I went to my Tombows and I went to the greens, and I tested a bunch of greens till I came up with the greens that I liked. And then you always pick a light, medium, and a dark. It's really important. When you pick a light, medium, and dark, you'll always have depth in your coloring. You can do your shading really good. So here in our green we have a light, medium, and dark. In the blue palette I picked a light, medium, and a dark. And in the peaches I went with a light, medium, and a dark. So then if I sat down with my coloring page, I have all these colors, 9 colors to begin with. And then the third tip is to build as needed. So as I would start into my coloring page, if I felt like I need a little something more, a little pop of color, then you could say, well, maybe I'll add in a red or a brighter yellow or a brown. Neutrals are always a great thing to add. You can throw those in anytime you want. And then always add 3. So if I decide I'm going to add a yellow, I would add a light, medium, and a dark. So that's a real thing to kind of drill into your head. Light, medium, dark, light, medium, dark. So again, you begin with your plan. You limit your colors to 3 when you begin. And you do your light, medium, dark, and then you build as needed. Now this same color palette was one that I used in my coloring book a while back and colored this coloring page right here. So you can see how we created from a peacock I created this beautiful mandala, and the color combination turned out beautiful. Another trick I use when I'm using my colors is I have a sorter next to me where I keep my colors. This one I had my son make in his high school ceramics class. I'll show it to you here. It's quite heavy. I sort out my colors as I pull them so that all the colors are nice and neat and I can easily grab them. Again, like I said, I like to have the choosing of the colors done with in the beginning and have all my colors sorted out, and then I can just blissfully sit back and color and enjoy the experience, and all the work is done and I can just let my mind go and enjoy the coloring. So I would like to do that right now. I'm going to use this Bliss Breather mini coloring book. This is volume 1, which is free and available to everyone as a download, a PDF download, on my website, coloringpagesbliss.com. It folds up really cute and fits in your pocket. I'm going to color this hope page today, and I'm going to begin with a plan. And this one, like I said, nature really inspires me. So I'm going to pick this as my plan today, and I'm going to use pencil crayons. Here in my sorter, I have a white for blending ready and a colorless blender that Prismacolor makes ready for blending. I'm going to talk more about blending in number 7, video number 7 of this Color Like a Pro series, so you can check that out. So I have those 2 ready for blending. So I need a light, medium, and dark in my blues. And let me grab my Prismacolors here. This set here is a Crazy Art and a Crayola set. So, and like I've said in video number 1, it kind of hurts my hands to use those. So I'm going to go to my Prismacolors, and I already have a set of light, medium, dark blues here set up and ready to go. I have another video on this channel that talks about how I organize my pencils. So you can check that out and see how I did that. Now my plan also calls for sort of an orangey yellow set. So I'm going to go in and pick this group here. Orangey yellows. Put that into this slot. And then my plan calls for greens, and it's a really bright grassy green. So in my greens, I think this is probably the closest set without taking some time to build a new set, which right now I just need a quick blissful breather. So I'm just going to use what sets I already have built. Oh, and that looks really pretty together. Oh, I'm really happy with that set. So here I've begun with a plan. I've limited my colors to 3, and if I need some, which I don't think I will because this is such a nice small coloring page, I can build on if I need to. I'm going to hit fast forward and just take a breather and enjoy myself for a minute, let you watch me color. So let's see how this plan turns out here. There. I really like how that turned out. I think it does really well with my plan. Okay, quick review. Begin with a plan. Limit your colors to usually 3. Pick a light, medium, and dark in each of your 3 colors, and then build on it as needed. This time I didn't need it. I really got wondering there for a minute if I was going to need to add in some deeper oranges, but I decided to stick with it because I was enjoying that. Felt very light, like sunshine, so I really enjoyed that. Alright, I hope that will help you with your color choosing. and I think that's a real big step towards coloring like a pro. Check me out for the video number 3. It's going to be on practicing the first of our basic techniques, so it's going to be lots of fun. Again, my name is Jennifer Stay with Coloring Pages Bliss. If you'd like to download this cute little mini coloring book, visit me on my website. It's free. It's a free PDF download. Have a wonderful, blissful, and colorful day.